Here's the crazy part. Almost everyone on Earth uses money every single day, but almost nobody actually understands what money really is. Not the school version, not the dictionary version. I mean the hidden system, the invisible machine that decides who sleeps peacefully and who lies awake at night worrying about bills. And the reason you were never taught this? Because the people who benefit from your confusion are the same people who design the rules. Today, you're going to see the game for what it really is. Not the story they tell you, but the system you're actually living inside. What money really is. So let me ask you something simple. What is money? Most people say it's a way to buy things, a way to store value, a tool for trade. That's not wrong, but it's not the truth either. Because money is not gold. It's not paper. It's not numbers on a screen. Money is trust. It only works because we all agree to believe in it. That green paper in your wallet? It has no real value by itself. The number in your bank app? It's just a digital promise. The moment people stop believing in that promise, it disappears. You don't get paid in wealth. You get paid in faith. Faith that tomorrow, someone else will still accept that money from you. And once you understand that, you start to see how fragile the whole system really is. Who controls the trust? A long time ago, a small group realized something dangerous. If you control trust, you control everything. So they built systems to manage belief. Banks, governments, they wrapped money in complexity, made it sound scientific, made it sound impossible to understand. Not because it's complicated, but because confused people don't ask questions. Most people never ask what money is. They just chase it. And when they don't have enough, they blame themselves. That wasn't an accident. That was the plan. How banks actually create money. Here's something almost nobody realizes. When you put money in a bank, the bank doesn't just store it. They lend it. Again, and again, and again. This is called fractional reserve banking. They only keep a small part of your deposit. The rest gets loaned out. But here's the part that breaks people's minds. Most money isn't printed. It's created when someone goes into debt. When a bank gives a loan, they don't move existing money. They create new digital money from nothing and attach interest to it. That means most of the money in the world exists only because someone owes a bank. No debt, no money. And if people stop paying, that money vanishes. Why debt must always grow. Now think about this. Every loan has interest. If a bank creates $1 million in loans at 5% interest, it creates $1 million in the economy, but demands $1,050,000 back. Where does the extra $50,000 come from? More loans, more debt. The system can only survive if debt keeps growing. It needs constant expansion, constant borrowing, constant pressure. This isn't a mistake. It's the design. They build a world where being in debt feels normal and being free feels risky. The comfort trap. Here's the genius part of the system. It doesn't chain you with pain. It traps you with comfort. You're trained to want things. Big house, new car, latest phone, designer clothes. And you don't even have to wait. Debt lets you time travel your lifestyle. You get tomorrow's comfort today and pay for it for decades. But once you're paying, you can't move. You can't quit. You can't risk. You can't breathe. You're not trapped by force. You're trapped by payments. Why stressed people are easy to control. People in debt don't rebel. They don't experiment. They don't gamble on new ideas. They wake up. They work. They pay. They repeat. That's perfect for the system. So they add more layers. Hidden fees. Confusing rules. Tricky interest. Minimum payments that never end. And when people fail, they blame themselves. Not the system. Not the design. Not the trap. How the rich use the same system. Now here's where it gets interesting. The wealthy don't avoid debt. They just use it differently. Most people borrow to consume. Car, clothes, vacation. Their debt goes up, but their wealth doesn't. The wealthy borrow to build. Property, businesses, assets. Their debt goes up, but their assets grow faster. And the best part? Many of their interest payments are tax-friendly. So while you pay interest with money you already paid tax on, they use the system to grow faster. The real power of compounding. Compound interest is the most powerful force in finance, but works best on assets. not on your debt. $10,000 invested at 10% can become hundreds of thousands over time. But most people never get the chance. Why? Because all their money is busy feeding old decisions. The system makes sure you're always paying the past instead of building the future. Why the math was never fair. Some people start with help, family money, connections, assets passed down. By the time they're 30, their money is already working for them. Most people, they're starting to breathe in their 40s or 50s. Not because they're lazy, not because they're stupid, but because the math was never designed to favor them. The biggest lie about success. They tell you, if you fail, it's your fault. Work harder. Try again. But nobody asks, who built the track you're running on? Who decided how steep the hill is? Who placed the obstacles? Understanding the system doesn't make you rich, but it does something more important. It frees you from shame. What freedom really looks like. Freedom isn't being rich. Freedom is being able to choose. Choosing not to impress people you don't know. Choosing not to buy what you can't afford. Choosing not to trade your future for comfort today. You may not escape the system, but you can stop playing the role it wrote for you. Playing the game differently. Once you see the rules, you start making different moves. You think before you borrow. You question what you want. You stop chasing images. You stop trying to look rich and start trying to be free. Not perfect, not fast, but real. Why this knowledge matters. Most people live their whole lives inside a game they never understood. They fight harder, but never smarter. They blame themselves instead of learning the rules. Now you know, and that changes everything. Your next move. The system won't change for you, but you can change how you move inside it. The question isn't, is the game fair? The question is, now that you see it, how will you play it? Final message. If this opened your eyes even a little, you're already ahead of most people. This channel exists to expose the hidden systems that quietly shape your life. More videos are coming, more truths, more clarity, and the more you understand, the harder you are to control. Subscribe if you're ready to stop guessing and start seeing the game for what it really is.